Welcome to Ed's Eats. I'm Ed McFarland, the chef owner of Ed's Lobster Bar. Today we're gonna make crab cakes. Simple, easy crab cakes. And if you've noticed anything from my other videos, I like to keep it very simple. Before we get started, if you like what you're seeing, please remember to like, comment, and share our videos. We read the comments and we look forward to your feedback. Let's get on with the crab cakes. So for those of you who aren't on camera one, but are on camera two, I love you. You're not forgotten. So let's get started. We have our bowl. So one of the things when working with crab, it's very perishable. Even though it's cooked, it's very perishable. So we're gonna wear gloves when we handle the crab meat. So first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna transfer the crab into our mixing bowl. We have a pound of crab meat that I've already picked the shell out of. I'm going to put this off on the side. We're going to chop a shallot. So when chopping shallot, pretty simple. Just make sure you have a really sharp knife. And I'm going to make an incision across this way. And we'll do the other side too so you get to see that twice. So next, on to the chive. I want to kind of keep the ends as close as possible together. And you definitely need a super, super sharp knife to keep the chives from getting crushed and turning wet. So very, very important, sharp knife. When we're done chopping the chive, what we're going to do is we're going to reserve some of the nicer tops. Nice long tops, which we can garnish on top of our crab cake plate. So we're just going to put those on the side and save those for later on. We're going to scoop up the chive. It's going to go right into our crab meat. Let's add our shallot. And then remember, we're only adding about half of what we chopped. Now, onto the oyster crackers. And we have to crush them up and grind them. So one of the things I like to do so it doesn't make a big mess, call this a little etiquette tip. We're going to drop our oyster crackers in the bag, roll it up, and the bag may break open as it did here, but that's okay. We're going to take a rolling pin and roll over them. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rip the bag open. And you can see that our cracker is pretty well chopped up. So you got different sizes in the cracker, but that's nice because you'll get the different textures and pieces inside the crab cake when you're eating it, which is very nice. So we're going to go ahead and dump that right in with our crab meat onto the seasoning. We're going to use mayonnaise, Old Bay. Can't have a crab cake without Old Bay. A little bit of fresh ground pepper, a little bit of salt, we're going to put on our glove. We're going to mix very, very lightly. We should just want to combine it together. I'm going to just give a little taste to check the seasoning. Damn, I love Old Bay. It's perfect. Perfect with crab cakes. Crab meat in general. So I'm going to put that aside for just a second. We're going to get some more crackers and we're going to roll out a little bit more cracker and we're going to mix that with some flour to dust on the crab cakes before we fry them. We're ready to finish our crab cakes. We're going to form them, and this is really just a matter of preference. The size is really up to you. You can use a mold and make small crab cakes. You can form them by hand as I'm doing here and kind of estimate the size. This is really all up to you. But I like to make about we'll call this a 3-ounce crab cake. I'm gonna drop them in the flour and cracker mixture, and then I'm just gonna coat them just lightly, and we're gonna place them on a plate or a tray, refrigerate them for about 15 or 20 minutes before we cook them, just to make sure they hold together. So we have a hot pan with oil to do a shallow fry. We're gonna place them in the pan for about 4 or 5 minutes till it's golden brown on one side. Then we'll flip it over, and it'll be another 4 to 5 minutes on the other side to become golden brown. If you have a deep fryer at home, you're welcome to use a deep fryer, and that will speed the process up. When you put the crab cakes in the pan, you want to make sure that they don't stick. That's the importance of the pan being hot. What you can do is use your spatula to move the crab cake to make sure it's not sticking. If it is sticking, leave it alone, let it cook until it's crisp. You'll be able to lightly scrape the spatula underneath the crab cake to loosen it from the pan and flip it over. I made 2 versions of the crab cake today. One is with our homemade tartar sauce, coleslaw, as an appetizer, and the other version we did as a crab cake sandwich. We have a toasted sesame seed bun, a little bit of coleslaw, tartar sauce, that's on the bottom, and on the top side we have lettuce, tomato, and red onion. We're going to assemble our sandwich and our appetizer, and remember the chive tops that we reserved earlier on to garnish our crab cake appetizer with. Well, I made 2 different versions of the crab cake today. We made a crab cake appetizer and a crab cake sandwich, so I had to bring somebody along to share with me. Carly's here today.
Woo! Happy to be here.
She called dibs on the crab cake sandwich. That left me with the lighter meal. I'm happy. So let's dig in. Let's hear your thoughts. Carly, go ahead. You know, I suggest you mash that down a little bit because that's a big sandwich.
Yeah.
Give it a little mash so you can bite that.
I know this is going to be messy either way. I'm ready for it.
Really get the Old Bay flavor, and the crackers are really crunchy and crispy.
That's delicious.
So, I don't need a fork for this. I'm gonna dip that right into the tartar sauce. My favorite way to make a crab cake. Super simple, not a lot of ingredients, just bound together, lightly fried. Flavor of the Old Bay really hits you.